Hello. So today I'm going to be talking to you about hydrogels and their emerging applications. So, what exactly is a hydrogel? Hydrogels are 3D cross-linked networks that can absorb from 100 to up to over 1,000 times their own weight in water. These cross-links can either be physical, such as entanglements, or chemical. Hydrogels can broadly be put into categories based on their chemical composition. These categories are synthetic hydrogels and bio-based hydrogels. Synthetic hydrogels are made from petrochemicals. Petrochemicals have a known structure and are generally repeated units of carbon and hydrogen. This leads to the fact that you can modify them very easily as you know their structure. You can therefore target a specific property, such as rapid swelling. Therefore, synthetic hydrogels tend to have a high swelling capacity and very rapid swelling dynamics, as well as a high stability. These are all very desirable properties for hydrogels that are used in applications such as baby diapers. However, they tend to be a little bit toxic and have a low biocompatibility, which can really limit their uses. Bio-based hydrogels are made from plant or animal sources. Plant sources include carbohydrates and proteins, such as zein protein and canola protein, whereas animal sources tend to focus on proteins only. These proteins include gelatin and chitin. Bio-based polymers, specifically proteins, tend to have a very complicated structure. This means that it's a lot more difficult to modify them to target specific traits and tends to lead to unpredictable properties at the end of synthesis. Additionally, bio-based hydrogels tend to be extremely biocompatible and non-toxic, which really opens up their uses. Interestingly, in order to be qualified as a bio-based hydrogel, you don't need to be completely bio-based. You only need to have one component that comes from plant or animal sources, because it is very difficult to make a fully bio-based hydrogel. That being said, there is one that has been produced here at Mac campus, down at Dr. Jamal's lab, and it is made from starch, itaconic acid, and citric acid. Another way that you can classify hydrogels is through their structure. There are three main structures that are reported in literature. These include non-porous, superporous, and superabsorbent. These hydrogels can all be made from the same recipe, however, they do require a couple modifications. If you'd like to make a non-porous hydrogel, you would use the base recipe. Then to make this superabsorbent, you would include a foaming agent with the base recipe. And in order to make a super porous structure, you would use the base recipe, a foaming agent, and a foam stabilizer. This leads to a more uniform foam and more uniform more uniform pores, as you can see in the photo. Smart hydrogels are another category of hydrogels that are extremely interesting. They react to changes in their environment. These changes can be anything from pH to the pressure that they are under. And they will contract or relax, thus either holding on to water or releasing the water, depending on these changes in their environment. One of the main applications for hydrogels is agriculture. Seeds are planted with a hydrogel coating, which swells when they're watered. The hydrogel holds onto the water and will slowly release it over time as the ground becomes drier. Therefore, you have to water seeds less often, and the seeds receive enough water. Also, it has been suggested that hydrogels can uptake ions that are in the ground, such as harmful heavy metal ions, and this may protect the seeds against these harmful heavy metal ions. Another main use for hydrogels is drug delivery. Smart hydrogels, as I previously said, contract in reaction to changes in their environment. pH-sensitive hydrogels will contract in your stomach due to the low pH of your stomach acid, and then release in your lower intestine when the pH becomes more basic. This allows drugs to be released in your lower intestine where they will be protected from your stomach acids. In summary, hydrogels are 3D networks that can hold onto water. There are many ways that you can classify them depending on their structure or their chemical composition. And really, their uses depends on this chemistry and on their structure. And there are new uses that are discovered every week. These are my references.